Hello and welcome to the Nerdrunners podcast. I'm Stef, and joining me tonight is a fine gentleman with a penchant for origami, skulls, and brains in jars. It's Mark.
Hi, everyone.
Not creepy at all.
No, well, you kind of led in a very creepy way. I was kind of in a way, I was kind of thinking Vincent Price. I was like, nah, but then I didn't quite do the accent properly, and then it all just went to pot. Let's start again. Hi.
Alright. How are things? You alright?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, just usual rigmarole, busy with work as you are as well. But keeping positive, keeping busy, all's good. Can't complain while I'm busy at work. That's the main thing.
Yeah, I'm sort of, I'd say I'm winding down, but you know what it's like just before you go on a vacation. It's kind of like a winding up more than anything else.
I know, like at my old job, I swear any time I took time off work for whether it be like just to have a long weekend or it's like just to use up some of my holiday time because I rarely take holiday as it is. I would always end up having to work extra before the time I took off to get all the work done because they keep throwing extra things on me, and it's like, well, I'm not here on Monday, so I guess I'm gonna have to come in on Saturday to do all this work before I go away on Sunday. Yeah, I swear.
You're far too dedicated to your position. I've just told them to lump it.
It's like, this isn't my problem, bitches. I'll be in Canada next week.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm really looking forward to my break. I don't think I've had a proper holiday since January, so
definitely about time.
I'm tired. I'm very tired.
Yeah.
To the point at which I've sort of in the last week and a half convinced myself I was having numerous heart attacks just with stress. But it's okay. I'm all right. I'm actually wondering because I'm taking my decks overseas again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering whether I can actually take my Julienne Jinteki deck because I'm not entirely sure how much damage you can legally transport across borders. But it's a lot.
I'm sorry. I'm just picturing in my head now where like you put your cards on like going through the X-ray machine thing, and instead of like just an X-ray of your bag, it's just like an X-ray of the snare, and then the
it's like, sir, are you transporting plants? No, I'm not at all.
And then you give them 3 net damage and attack.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right actually. Just kind of plodding along and building deck state with me. I've got 2 teaching decks because I have, through my friend's foolishness, he has lent me his other core set. So now I've got 2 core sets, and I'm now appropriating all the cards as mine.
Oh, brilliant! You'll no longer be running 3 different consoles in your runner deck.
I might do that anyway, just because it's for shits and giggles, really.
Well, yeah, that's quite fun actually.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm still running Julienne because it's a beautiful thing. It's still a beautiful thing to behold, and kind of, especially when you're teaching people. But I have been toying with an End the Fun deck.
Oh yeah.
Mainly, well, it's much easier to teach with a HB deck, and
yeah, rather
than my Julienne, which is like, I want them to run so they understand the game, but if they run, I'm gonna kill them. So
maybe let them run into things they can click through.
Exactly. I've been teaching with the Engineering the Future, and with them a sort of weird version of a Kate deck. Because Kate's always fun and it's very easy to understand and play. But yeah, I've been doing that. I've had a brief jaunt into a Shaper kind of prepaid Dinosaurus kind of chameleon deck, which
I was waiting until it got janky.
I want you to listen to the inflection in my voice. It worked. I don't even know how to talk about it. It was an interesting thing to behold, especially when
because Chameleon's fixed at 3 strength, and then Dinosaurs would give it 2 extra strength, wouldn't it? So you could get through most bad things at 5, I guess.
And then I was using the chip that gives cards +1 strength when it's installed.
Oh, LLDS processor.
Yes. So it went from being a strength 3 to a strength 5, a strength 2 to a strength 4 to a strength 7 chameleon, which is quite nice. Yeah, but it was a different way of running because my first 3 clicks were installing 3 chameleons, and then I was just making one glory run. It's like, you can't keep me out, you can't keep me out. And then I was singing Karma, 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 Karma Chameleon the entire time, which I think bugged the other player.
I think it's to be expected. I mean, if you're running a chameleon deck, you kind of have to be singing Culture Club.
Yes, exactly.
At the
but
very least.
It was quite fun when they graduated from the teaching decks and said, "Oh, can I play with one of your proper decks?" I was like, "You don't want to play with my proper decks?" Like, "No, I do." I was like, "No, you don't." I was like, "Oh, well, can I run against your Jinteki?" I said, "I'm not going to let you run against my Jinteki deck." "Well, can I run with your runner?" I said, "I can give you this, but you won't know what it does." And then the look on their face of like, because all the cards in the starter set are fairly straightforward. I think we can all agree. Once you get like the symbols down and what the different areas are called, it's fairly easy to kind of go, "Oh, this works like this." But then you hand someone something with prepaids and chameleons, and London Library was in there, and remembering how these things work, and they're like looking at a hand of cards, going, "I don't know what this is supposed to do." I just go look over and I don't know what it's supposed to do either.
Let's work it out together.
Yeah, let's learn together, guys. And then, secondly, I was like, this isn't my deck. I just wasn't enjoying running a prepaid. I've never got on with prepaid. It's kind of very, I do this, end of go, this, end of go. And it's always the same kind of like, it's yeah, you know what I mean. It's very sort of straightforward, whereas I like a deck where I can be anywhere all the time, ever.
Always be moving.
Yeah, exactly. So I always, I've been going back to my good old Anarch cards, and I've rebuilt my not looking for job deck, old school, new school version 2, which I sent to you earlier today, and I was quite happy with it.
Yeah, I've got to say, I thought the build was like, I mean, there were a few cards I was a bit, I mean, SMC I was originally like, okay.
SMC out of Anarch is always scary.
I know, but then I was like, oh, you've got stem hack, and you can SMC out anything that you need, and yeah, the more I looked at it, the more I realised how much sense it made, and just how deadly some of the turns could be.
Yeah, it's all about not caring. I was playing on Jinteki the other day, and my cry was death or glory, and I did that about 4 times. So I think I only had 1 card left in my hand, not through damage. Well, through damage, but through my own stupidity and just running stim hacks and not caring about cerebral override. It's like, yeah, it's cool, whatever. It's the point at which I'm kind of considering throwing in public sympathy. or anything to give me slightly more cards in hand, because otherwise it's going to be a hell of a time. But Faust is fun. It's the first time I played with it.
Yeah, Faust is a lot of fun.
Yeah,
how do you find it? How did you get on with the trashing?
Well, I mean, I didn't use it like you did. Like, your Quetzal deck is built around Faust, whereas I stuck Faust in for no other reason than it's just fun. It's a fun card. It answers the questions like, oh well, I've not found my breakers, or I've got all these cards in hand which are kind of dead at the minute. So say you draw your second Grimoire and your second Mimic. It's like, oh, I don't need them now, and I've got clone chip, so if I need them later, I can just clone chip them out. So I'll just Faust them. Which is quite nice to kind of go. It's a quick and easy way of getting past. It's mainly in there, I've realised, for Lotus Field breaking.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like a get rid of this, and I'm in. And it's a nice card. I really enjoy it. It stood the potential to be much, much worse if the trash card from the grip only gave you 1 strength. That would have been an awful card then.
Yeah. I always forget that it's only breaks 1 subroutine. I always have it in my mind it breaks 2 subroutines. And always get a nasty shock. But at least out of Quetzal with E3 feedback as kind of a standard card for her, then obviously it takes the brunt of it. You can pay with credits to get through the rest of the subs. But yeah, I always think, oh, that's just going to cost me 2 cards. It's like, oh shit, no, that's just going to cost me at least 3 cards.
And I got rid of some of the fixed strength breakers, so I got rid completely of Morningstar and the Net Ready Eyes, because they were fun for a while, but I don't know, I just like the green bullshit out of red. It's quite nice, because when people see you throw down a self-modifying code, they go, hold on, what's going on? Oh no, and then stim hack, and you can get out whatever you want, and still have money left over.
Yeah.
And it's quite nice to throw down 2 self-modifying codes, stim hack, and just throw out a parasite as well, just kind of like, oh. And most people would count that as a waste of a self-modifying code. Not me. I think that's a perfect way of doing things.
The more anarchic, the better.
Exactly. You went to a tournament at the weekend, didn't you?
I did. This is, what now, third tournament this year, I think? Yeah, third this year.
Professional, I don't like it.
Overall. Yeah, I am, yeah. And shockingly, I actually did quite well.
Oh, God. Oh, God, we're becoming professionals.
I know. Oh, dear. Well, I didn't make top 4. I did come 5th out of 17 players, which I was pleasantly surprised with, considering I started off the day. It was 5 rounds of Swiss, and yeah, it was start off the day with a double loss. So I was like, oh well, start as I mean to go on, I guess. Yeah. But no, gradually picked up from there and snagged quite a few more wins, which I was really, really impressed with. I took my Quetzalfaust deck, which did fairly well, but I'm as I'll get onto in a second, I'm kind of moving away from the Faust build now, because I found that I was getting more enjoyment and finding it a bit easier playing the deck when I installed the breakers. The deck also runs as well as 3 Faust, 1 Mimic, 1 Morningstar, and 1 Yogg, and I found it
standard.
Yeah, I kind of got on better with it once I started kind of having the breaker down and not relying so much on Faust to trash. I think maybe I could have gone a bit more all in on Faust in the deck, but then obviously you run the risk of when you lose Faust, you're basically out of the game. But no, it did fairly well for me. I think there was a game that I won where I just installed a Data Sucker and just kept pounding Data Sucker and then repeatedly parasiting away their ice over R&D and HQ and just got the points I needed from I think it was an NBN deck that I was playing against at the time. But yeah, overall Quetzal did fairly well. I was quite impressed with it. But doing even better was my Corporation deck, which I took the Blue Sun deck, which I took to the tournament last time, the last tournament I went to.
The one where you lost abysmally?
Yes. So obviously it's a really good starting point for me. But no, it's been tweaked since then because of one of the brand spanking new cards, which we'll talk a bit more in depth about in a minute. Hollywood Renovation.
Spoil it. Damn it, man. I'd even planned out the order we were going to go in so you could talk about Hollywood Renovation.
That comes way at the back. Yeah, we've got so many other cards to go through first.
It's going to be a surprise.
Sorry, man. So spoilers.
Ugh.
Sorry, that's also a spoiler. Oh man, it's one of those podcasts. Moving swiftly on. So yeah, it's Blue Sun. It uses all the renovations. It's got tons of cash. It's gonna seesaw scorch you if it can. But it also runs the Space Ice, which people don't expect in Blue Sun. And when they see it, and I'm not entirely sure why this is yet, I'm yet to get to the root of it, but they tend to see Space Ice and immediately think, oh, this isn't a kill deck. And 2 people I played against at the tournament discarded their Plascretes after seeing Space Ice in the deck.
That's so dumb. That is so dumb.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, I have a Sea Source and Scorch in hand. This is the best thing for me right now.
Oh God.
But yeah,
I mean, what do they expect? I mean, like, I don't know what they'd expect that they keep them if they're just going to throw them away against Wayland.
Maybe they were maybe they're thinking it's a vegan Ravens? Wayland that uses Trick of Light. There are Data Ravens in the deck as well. Although I don't think they'd seen them at the point at which they discarded their Plascretes. I think they'd only really seen Barriers and Space Ice at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really fun, and I've had to kind of justify a little bit to a few people because they've kind of people don't seem to think Space Ice and Blue Sun works because everyone immediately thinks Blue Sun you want to keep returning ice to your hand to get the money, but it is quite a big tempo shift of always having to then maybe spend one of your 3 clicks putting ice back down where it came from, or switching out. The way I see it with Blue Sun is you move ice if it's going to be destroyed by the runner. You move the ice if it needs to go to a different server. Like if I had to put Meromati on R&D just for the time being, I can pull it back and put it on HQ where it gets the strength boost. Or you pull it back just because you've oversighted it and you get the money back. And the reason I like the Space Ice in there is it's a 9 credit or an 8 credit net gain from an oversight if you play it out that way, or you can put it out really early and double advance it, and then you have a 3-cost 5, 6, or 7 strength piece of ice, assuming it's not an Orion, that's going to do some serious damage or keep the runner out quite early in the game. So you can get it out for really cheap, and that saves you the money as Blue Sun to do other things like res more expensive ice elsewhere, or to do the Seesaw Scorch. So playing it that way, it makes a lot of sense to me. And obviously Hollywood Renovation it just makes the space ice even better. And just, but the deck was kind of inspired a little bit by something that was brought up in the last cast, where one of the listeners comments like, don't forget Wayland's trying to kill you. Sometimes they get cute and advance things, but bear in mind they're always trying to kill you. So that's why all the agendas are renovations, and then there's hostile takeover, which is just scored from hand anyway, so nothing ever goes into a server to be advanced face down. It's just like, you can see what I'm doing. Yeah. Come and get it if you want it.
This is the public face of Wayland.
It is, and it's doing really well. It was even kicking ass at the Tuesday meets this week as well. Having a lot of fun with the deck, and it is brilliant. And even there's one Orion in the deck as well, and just that's such a good piece of ice. Because unlike Curtain Wall, you can put Orion behind something else that's quite deadly, and then it doesn't lose the strength like Curtain Wall does if it has to be behind something else. So again, it keeps the strength, but it can be broken by anything, which is the downside. But still fantastic. And Archer is just, I've forgotten how good it was, and I've destroyed so many rigs in the last week just with Archer. It's brilliant. It's so deadly, and I had it in the deck previously, and I kind of fell out with it a little bit, and I was like, oh, do I really want to keep it in the deck? The only real things I could sacrifice to it were Underway Renovations. That's the 3-1. That was released a few packs ago. But now that I put Hostile Takeover back in the deck, I don't mind getting one or two bits of bad pub throughout the game, because everything is just so expensive to break anyway, and most of it requires on strength boosting rather than necessarily breaking subs. I mean, I don't have Ice Wall in the deck just because unless I've increased the strength of that, it's just one bad publicity to get through. Which is why I have Merumati instead, because you have to boost the strength on that one for assuming they're using Kuroda, which most runners do. But no, Archer is deadly, and when you have one scored hostile takeover, every face down piece of ice is an Archer to a runner, and it is so sweet. And that's brilliant. I'm really, really, really enjoying this deck right now. Half of this, I think, it came out of just getting frustrated by Yogg, so I put Wormhole in instead of Enigma, and then it kind of spiraled out from there, and the rest of the Space Lies went in. But no, it's a lot of fun so far.
Good. I'm glad it's working out for you.
And on the runner side, like I said, I was kind of getting away from Faust. I've kind of taken most of that shell and turned it into an Edward Kim deck. So kind of the Faust has gone out, and now I have a second copy of Mimic, Morningstar, and Yogg. And it's kind of somewhat the looking for job, kind of lots of resource economy shell in a way.
It's very good though.
But it is very good, and a lot of the Anarch runners I've played against do get very, very rich off that shell. But I'm still umming and ahhing over Career Fair, because I still have Easy Mark in there for that same 1 influence, 3 credits type card. I'm still yet to be convinced by Career Fair, but let
me tell you about Career Fair.
Go on, sell me on Career Fair.
Well, if you say you're drawing with Pancakes Wildside, that is one of those for free. A Liberated account is 6, is 3 instead of 6, which is phenomenal. Katie Jones is free. I mean, you lose credit on that. It's a good way to get stuff out. Stuff like it runs daily casts. Well, that's free. That's free economy that just goes slap down straight away. It's, I think it's, people are umming and ahhing because they're like, well, how often do I use resources? But in the looking for jobs shell, use resources a lot.
Yeah, the thing I was thinking about it was the Easy Mark 3 credits from that is more flexible, because you can kind of use it on anything, and you don't have to be holding on to Career Fair, or you're not hesitant about playing out your Daily Cast or your Earthrise or your Liberated accounts until you get your Career Fair, and it's like, well, I can play out this Easy Mark now, and I can use that money for something else. But a lot of the times when I've kind of been in a situation, Easy Mark just kind of stays in my hand, because I think, well, I could get 3 credits now with Easy Mark, or I could click Katie and have bank 3 credits. And that whole kind of 3 credit thing kind of twists in on itself, and then it's like, yeah, maybe Career Fair would be better to kind of, play it out at the same time rather than have to do a 3 credit click followed by then daily casts for those 3 credits. So I may try it out with Career Fair over the next few weeks and see how I get on. But yeah, I liked Easy Mark in there. I like the flexibility. I like the fact that you can use those 3 credits for anything in the deck, and you're not confined to needing to draw into the resource and then use it in a combo-y kind of way. But yeah, I think I'm starting to come around to the Career Fair way of thinking.
Good.
But that was the last thing I was going to mention as well. Morningstar is still the bomb. It's I had it out the other night, and it was just destroying servers to a point where I was playing against a Blue Sun deck, and they'd got a bad publicity, and it's like, okay, so they had a Merumati over HQ. I was like, okay, well, I'll just use that bad publicity you've given me, and I walk through that Merumati for free. There's like none of this boosting nonsense with Corrodent. Morningstar, it's expensive to get out. The 2MU's a bit annoying, but once it's out, my god, it does work. Just getting through an Eli for 1 credit is just brilliant. Yeah, so good. Morningstar, I'm still massively in love with Morningstar, and it also means that with Edward Kim, I can call the deck Fist of the Morningstar.
Oh god!
And sit quite happily on that silly joke.
Well, you enjoy that.
I will.
Anyway, shall we discuss what we're going to talk about this week, which is we are going to the glitz and glamour of old Hollywood.
Yes. Fame and fortune wait on the streets are paved with gold, all those old tales about how great the entertainment capital of Sansan is. I think I have the first card, don't I? It is Trope. It's 1 cost, 1 MU program for the Anox. It says when your turn begins, place 1 power counter on Trope, and it's a click and remove Trope from the game, so you shuffle 1 card from your heap into your stack for each power counter on Trope. I've been looking forward to this for quite a while. At first I thought it would go really well in Max, and then I put it in the Quetzal Faust deck, which I took to the tournament, and I don't want to be a downer on cards because I know that's not our thing, but I was quite disappointed with this.
Yeah, it's power counters. Is there a way to populate power counters?
I don't think the runners have that. I think the only thing that adds power counters is Helium 3 deposits, which is the Wayland agenda, and that places 2 power counters on something. It
strikes me it's kind of like I don't know, it's because it's only 1 power counter. If you could populate it with more, it would be completely worth it.
Yeah. I do wonder if runners will get a card where they can move power counters around like Trick of Light style, so you could, in theory, this is wild thoughts now, but have a Trope out accruing counters, and then do a Trick of the Light power counter move and shift them to a David or something like that. That would be bananas.
It would be very useful.
The way it was working for me when I played it, and I kind of made an effort to play it, so maybe I didn't put it out at the best times, but I really wanted to try it out because I was quite excited for this card. And if it went out early, it had more power counters on than I had cards in my heap. And there were times where I had like 6 power counters on it and maybe 2 cards, 3 cards in my heap, and it was like, well, there's no point removing Trope yet because I'm wasting power counters. And then if I ever got it late game, I never really had that desire to play it because then it's like, well, I've got a huge stack of cards in my heap. I'm kind of full on memory at the moment anyway, so I can't really put Trope down. If I do, it's going to be a while before it starts getting enough power counters to make removing it worthwhile to throw stuff back in. And it has I know it's more anarchic than Levy AR Lab Access and stuff like that, but you do get to select the cards you want back in your deck, but then they're shuffled back in, and assuming you still have 15, 20 cards left in your deck, it's like the chance of actually drawing that card that you just moved back in there becomes chances aren't super great. I think maybe it could be a really good card in maybe outside of Anarch in a different deck. I did wonder about putting it into...
It's 3 influence though. It's really expensive for what it does. I don't know. I'm just not sold on the idea yet. I mean, it's almost like it could be an Anarch Levy if it wasn't so crummy.
And as well, it's the click to remove it from the game as well. So you can't
Yeah.
do it. You can't, like, if you want to clone chip something in, you can't get rid of the trope before something would overwrite it. If that makes sense, it's just you kind of have to do it on your turn, and I just found it a little bit unwieldy. I know there are going to be good decks for this, and I know it'll work in them, but for the deck that I was trying it out in, and under the circumstances I tried it out in, I didn't think it was as great as I'd probably built it up to be. Yeah. Maybe it does need a support card or something like that, something else that will make it great. Because again, I thought about it in Max and then kind of thought, well, Max trashes, every 2 out of 3 cards that pass through the deck. So you need to get it early, and then, it needs to... Then the odds of trashing it are quite high anyway, and it's just... Even in Max, I don't see this working to its fullest extent, but I want to see this work really well, and I really hope it does.
I think it's just missing one thing. That's all. But it could be good. It could be the next Anarch Levy. I've been so wrong about these cards before.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of using this instead of Levy and kind of not using that influence with something else. But then, for what Levy does, and you just kind of you've gone through your entire deck, and now you have the rest of the deck that you didn't already install back to use again. Is just. It's one of those annoying things where Levy is just such a good card to try and compare it against that it's always going to suffer from that comparison.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm excited. The next card that was released is Spoilers, as I like to call it, which is a virtual resource, 1 to install, 3 influence. Whenever the corpse scores an agenda, he or she trashes the top card of R&D. I really like this card.
I do as well.
I think it's good, and I think it's going to be even better if you put it in Criminal, with Leela, with Gang Sign and HQ and Logos, and just wait for the corp to score something.
Oh, I hadn't thought about it there. That's a really good idea, actually, because then you get stuff off R&D, you then get to go into HQ and have a look at stuff. And then you can just kind of
2 cards, and then you can find that breaker you need.
Yeah. Oh, I might have to build the spoiler Gang Sign Leela deck now.
I'm working on something. But again, it's 3 influence, so it's very expensive.
Yeah, tricky to fit outside of Anarch, but not impossible.
No, and I think it's just a good card. It's good for, I'd say, noise mill. It's just another mill card, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it has that annoying drawback of you want it, out early enough to take effects before they score their first agenda. It's only going to trigger a couple of times, but when it does, it's just disruptive enough, and it's only 1 cost, so it's really cheap to get out as well. It's not like it's a big ask to financially to get out on the table.
Exactly, and it's not unique, so you can have 3 of them out.
Oh, of course, yeah. So you could be potentially trashing 3 cards for maybe 2 to 3 times in the game. So yeah, could maybe build up a good amount. Yeah, and especially if you have the Gang Sign installed, the corp then has to worry. When I score an agenda, not only am I going to lose 1, 2, 3 cards off the top of R&D, but they're also going to access X number of cards in HQ as well. So yeah, maybe there's these kind of really cool pressure. Maybe in Ian Sterling only has 10 influence, doesn't he? I was going to say maybe in him where he also kind of wants to sit back and wait. And kind of wait the corp out, let them score a few, and then kind of go in and do some destruction.
Exactly.
Some agendas. Okay, next up in the pack is our first criminal card. It is Drug Dealer. It's a connection resource 1 cost. When your turn begins, you lose a credit, and when the corp's turn begins, you draw 1 card. Only 1 influence.
It's good. It's a good draw. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, in criminal, you're never really super short of money, so you can easily sacrifice a credit to get a card.
And especially if you are... Because what I tend to find is that you're not going through your deck as rapidly as a criminal. Or at least, I haven't played a criminal that does that. So this is quite a nice, very sort of slow build-up, kind of like, I just needed 1 card. Saves you a click. It's good. It's a good card.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like...
It's almost like a faster but less stuff Wildside. Because you don't lose that click at the start of your go. It's quite good as long as you got money, which criminals never really struggle with. It's good. It's a good way to burn through your deck.
And also, the timing on this is really good as well, because you draw the card when the corpse turn begins. So if, for example, you're sitting across from some crazy person who has a Jinteki Biotech deck, they're ready to do their 2 net damage flip. Oh wait, you just drew a card. Never mind, I'll save the net damage for another time.
Yeah, that'd just scorch you then.
It's like a good kind of temporary hand boost as well. And you can kind of use the time during the corpse turn to plot what you're going to do with this new card that you just got as well.
The next one, another criminal card, virtual resource, 0 cost, 1 influence, is Rolodex. And when you install Rolodex, look at the top 5 cards of your stack and arrange them in any order. When Rolodex is trashed, trash the top 3 cards of your stack. Can you explain this card to me?
It's basically precognition for the runners, except it has a bigger drawback in that you may risk losing 3 of those 3 cards. I have been having a think about this one. I do, because there isn't anything yet where you can kind of rearrange your own cards as the runner, except for kind of like Mr. Lee style throwing things to the bottom of the deck. You can't kind of see what's coming up and kind of manipulate that order yet. So this is kind of really cool. And I mean, because criminals have things like express delivery where you can see the top 4 cards and you put one into your hand and then shuffle your stack. And
yeah,
but nothing where you can kind of manipulate kind of the next 5 turns or next 5 draws worth of cards and kind of see what's coming. And you could get into some interesting situations where, you know, you've got maybe 1 card that you desperately need and then like 3 or 4 copies of cards you already have out. So then you kind of put that card to the top, you draw it, and then you kind of force trash Rolodex with Aesop's or... so yeah, there are ways, I guess, you can manipulate it and then, you know, trash those cards yourself and then kind of free up your stack a little bit more.
Yeah, I think I'd have to have someone demonstrate this to me. It's not as solid as I'd like it to be.
Yeah, I think it's the trash 3 cards thing is where you kind of start to scratch your head a little bit. And I wonder if maybe this could be more at home in Laramie Fisk when he comes out in the next pack, because he's kind of all about kind of card draw and hand flooding, so maybe, you know, he wants to kind of get rid of some cards from his stack to kind of free up and get other things instead. I don't know. It's certainly an interesting one, and I like the idea that it's you can just, you know, arrange the next 5 cards you draw, and it doesn't necessarily ever need to be trashed, so that clause may not ever really come into effect. I could see maybe Corpse, you know, trying to tag you and trash it to then trash 3 cards, but I wouldn't say a Corp would probably go out of their way to do that. Next up, we have Fansite. So this is another resource. It's a very resource-heavy pack, this one. It's a virtual resource for the Shapers. Again, only 1 influence. And this one reads, whenever the Corp scores an agenda, add Fansite to your score area as an agenda worth 0 agenda points. So, yeah, this is... You're not impressed?
It's fuel for Data Dealer and for Frame Job, I guess, but the amount of things that are there that can ruin you, stuff like the board or Philotic Entanglement, you can't, because you're not scoring it either. It's not as if, like, even with stuff like Turntable, you can do anything with it. I don't know. It's all right. It's just kind of I don't see the appeal.
Yeah, I wonder if this one is another card that's going to, you know, really kind of blossom when there are more cards that work around this kind of agenda point score area manipulation. Because we've started to see it a little bit now with Turntable,
yeah.
And we've had things like with Frame, like you say, with Frame Job and Data Dealer, all the way back to the core set. But yeah, it's, I don't know, unless you right now may be wanting to specifically kind of sell this and get 9 credits from, you know, very little effort, then yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one. But yeah, like you say,
Yeah, that's it. That's what I mean. It's kind of like a.
I'm trying to think what it would work really well with, but yeah, I can only really think of right now the forfeiting it to give the Corp a bad pub or selling it for 9 credits. There's not really a massive amount of score area manipulation right now, but yeah, I think this is definitely a card where it'll probably come into its own in a little while. I feel this is kind of another. I think this kind of pack is laying the groundwork for a lot of stuff yet to come, and a lot of combos and support cards we're yet to see. But yeah, I want to like it more than I do. I think that's the same problem I have with Trope. I want to like it more than I do. I want to see the connections more, but right now it's a difficult one to kind of place in a deck as such. I wonder if there'll be
I think it's just missing that final card.
I'm wondering now if there might even be like a runner with an ability to do stuff to the score areas.
Maybe in the Mum Bad cycle.
Because that would be kind of cool. I mean, obviously Turntable would synergize crazy well with them, but yeah, if there's something where you could, I don't know, maybe it would be forfeit an agenda to swap an agenda that's already in your score area with one the corp has just scored or something like that. Some kind of crazy bonkers ability where having a 0 point agenda like Fansight or like any of the other ones kind of in your score area would really come into play a lot.
Should we move on to the next card? Oh my god, Mark! Oh my god, it's Film Critic. I got it. I'll tell you what it is, and then I'm going to gush over it for a while. Film Critic is a resource. It's more resources. God damn, Hollywood's full of people. It's Film Critic. 1 cost, 1 influence, which is key. Film Critic can host a single agenda. Whenever you access an agenda, you may host this agenda on Film Critic. The agenda is no longer being accessed and is uninstalled. For 2 clicks, add an agenda host on Film Critic to your score area. Sweet mother of God, this card. It's not unique either, which I hadn't realised until earlier today. Which means you get 3 of these out, and it means that when it triggers before any on-access or stolen effects trigger, which means NAPD contract, Fetals, Future Perfects, anything from Argus or PE. You can't do anything with mid-seasons with it. TGBT, it's even so, like I can't. It blows my mind. It's such a good card. And it's ridiculous. It shuts down so many things that keep people out. Like if someone had 3 of these against my Julienne Jinteki, where I'm running Future Perfects as a way to stop the runner from scoring it, that's it. That's me screwed. Like there's nothing I can do. It's phenomenal. It's really, really good. And you just start hosting them throughout. I mean, the only problem is that if you... Well, say it's a problem. If this gets trashed because it's a resource, it doesn't really matter because then the agendas go into the corpse bin, which means, yes, they're vulnerable to Jacksoning.
Yeah.
But then you at least know where they are. It's such a good card.
I'm yet to see this in action, but I have a feeling this is going to have the same kind of impact that Clot had, in that people will start going kind of crazy about it, but then it won't really affect the decks that much because people won't maybe find the space for it necessarily.
I highly disagree. I think going forward, it's. I think what it does is it more represents a subtle shift in how things are going to be played. So I think it's going to become quite prevalent simply because of how prevalent NAPD is. Because when you're looking to round out your agenda stack, people tend to just throw in NAPDs because no one wants to score them. Well, in this case now, it's just like, well, it's going to be much easier just to nick them.
no agenda has that drawback text. You don't have to play that side game.
Butcher Shop gets shut down fairly nicely. It's kind of it's an interesting. I really want this card to work well because I think it should. I think it will change the way certain decks are built.
And if you play this out of Haley, you can install 1 Film Critic and then use Haley's ability to install a 2nd Film Critic.
I hadn't even thought about that. God damn.
Get them out twice as fast. No, I think this is for them. The majority of the very kind of competitive decks out there at the moment. This just is kind of your agenda don't mean shit now.
Oh god, it turns off punitives as well.
Yeah,
I hadn't even thought about that. Man, like I think what I'm trying to get across is that it doesn't necessarily matter that people are running this. It matters that it exists.
Yeah.
Because it means people are going to be worrying. It's like, what do you think about when if you're a corp, you're building things, well, they might have a Plascrete, or they might have an I'd Had Worse. Well, now you'll be thinking, well, they might have a film critic. So I think at a higher level, probably beyond our janky level of play, at quite a higher level, I think we'll start seeing them more in sort of tournament play. I really hope so, anyway. Because I think... What's the next national going? Is Canadian Nationals going up soon?
Very soon, I think, yeah.
Yeah. And I know Old Hollywood was legal. I think it's legal for that. So yeah, I think it's going to be it'll be a good card to keep an eye on in the future. You mark my words.
I will.
Today, I'm putting my minimal reputation online. I'm going to get crucified by our listeners. I'm telling you this right now.
I think it's good as well because, like you say, it turns off punitive. So you never score that agenda. You always just add it to your score area.
Can you imagine if you have one of these out and then manage to get hold of the government takeover?
Oh my god, that deck is gone. Yeah, it's done.
That's a sad corp right there.
Especially if it's out of Argus as well. Not only do you turn off either taking a tag on the meat damage, you turn off getting punitive the next turn as well. Yeah, I think we're probably going to see 3 of in quite a few decks because you want to see this as soon as possible. And it's 1 influence, so it's nice and easy to fit in as well. This is the card we've been waiting for. I don't know if I'll try and squeeze into any of my decks, but I'll have a think about it.
It's going in my version 2.1 of Old School, New School. Yeah, it's going to have to. I'm making space for it now.
I look forward to the battle report.
Right, I've gushed too much. I'm passing the buck to you.
Cool. Well, I'm kind of glad I'm doing this next card because I've been thinking about it for about 2 weeks now and trying to work it out. It's Paparazzi. It's on neutral resource of the pack, and it simply reads, "You are tagged. Prevent all meat damage." Now, I did not get this at first. I was like, okay, so I play this and it gives me a tag? That doesn't make any sense. But it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't give you a tag. You are just tagged.
Effectively makes you tagged without actually having a tag on you. Which is, what took me the time to wrap my head around. It's just like, so basically this card is just a tag. Whatever counter that you use in the game, it is one of those, but it also prevents meat damage, which is just crazy to think about. It's not unique as well, so you could put a few of these out, put a few Fall Guys out, and suddenly trashing your resources as well is going to be quite crazy. And slight spoilers, but there's a card in the next pack which is going to make it even harder for Corpse to trash Render resources if you're tagged. But yeah, this is an interesting... The only downside, I guess, is it's 2 credits and a click for the Corp to just trash this card, and then it turns on meat damage, but then you're not tagged, which is the conundrum of it.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Yeah, I don't know.
The way I see it working is going straight back to kind of one of my older decks, is in kind of the Joshua B Data Leak Reversal type deck that trashed a lot of Corp cards and tried to deck them. Playing this, so then you kind of play this click 1, and then you don't have to worry about trying to get a tag through other means at the start of your turn, like making an unsuccessful run with John Masanori, or having click or being tagged from the end of your last turn. So now all of a sudden you play this first click, you're immediately tagged. You've taken your extra click from Joshua B, so you'll end up with a proper tag at the end of your turn anyway, and you just trash with Data Leak Reversal, and that's kind of where I see this at, and I think I might go back to building one of those decks shortly. But I think this is really cool. And again, this kind of sits with Film Critic as, hey, that thing that's quite popular right now doesn't work anymore, as long as this card's in play.
Yeah. And it'll work with some of the cybernetics as well, stuff like Net Ready Eyes, because you can't take meat damage.
Again, there's a lot of these like really cool little friend juices as well, which I think are really quite neat. So yeah, it took me a while to get my head on this one, but I really like it now that I've kind of got into the way of thinking how Paparazzi works. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Should we move on to the next one?
Yes, let's go on to the Corporation cards.
Corporation, it's HB. Hey, it's an asset, it's a Bioroid, it's 3 to cost, it's 3 influence, and it's 3 to trash. This is Ronald 5.
Not
Friendship
Ronald
upgraded.
3.
No, exactly. Whenever the runner trashes a Corp card, including Ronald 5, he or she loses a click. This is alright. One of the things I like about this card most is the flavor text, which is it's our most pirated property ever. Great work, everyone. I'm not. I don't know about this card because I don't like it because it's punishing Whizzard, who is my bae. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it is. I mean, because it combos quite nicely with things like Ash, because it's whenever you trash a corp card, so you know you can lose your click by trashing Ash, which means if someone's kind of got only got clicks left to try and get through a Bioroid Ice, it's handy. It's a very specific situation.
There's also Heinlein Grid, which it would combo quite well with. So if with Heinlein Grid, if the runner loses... Heinlein Grid, it's the region for HB. It came out in the Lunar Cycle, and it reads, if the runner loses or spends a click during a run on the server, he or she loses all credits in his or her credit pool. So they'd have to trash Ronald Phi... Oh, no. Yeah, either way, it's whether they trash Ronnie 5 or Heinlein Grid first, they'll lose all their credits in the credit pool.
Do you just call him Ronnie 5?
I don't know what. I think it fits better. we're best buds. It's our friendship's been upgraded. Ronnie 5. I think it's because it reminds me of Johnny 5, if I say it like that. Yeah, that's probably why it's in my head.
That's probably what it's been ripped from, anyway.
So yeah, I can see this maybe with like Heinlein Grid, like you kind of either way force the runner to lose a click, they lose all their credits. Kind of a more janky closed accounts. But then again, would this do anything with Ryan Knight? Ryan Knight only triggers, I believe, when the runner has no clicks left. So it's just kind of, you can do it. It's a trash ability, so you could do it at the end of the go if they've, say on the run it costs them the click. You could then trigger Ryan Knight. Maybe? Does that work? I'm overthinking this. Let's move on. No, because you can only trash Ryan Knight just before access. That's your last payment window. So if they're in the server trashing cards and losing clicks, then you wouldn't have time to trigger Ryan Knight, I'm afraid.
Oh well.
Yeah, I think it's cool, and HB at the moment is got a lot of assets and upgrades. With a lot of the engineering in the future decks are running Ashes and Eves and Adonises and Caprices and Batties, and a lot of cards that require the runner to either be Whizzard or spend a lot of money to trash them. So yeah, I think it's got a place, but then you maybe have to have it in its own well-defended server. Obviously, you can't go on your scoring server because it's an asset. But yeah, I could see this working quite well. Although it is in the Whizzard sweet spot for you, being 3 to trash.
Yeah, but it's the cost. At what cost, Mark?
What cost? That click. That poor click.
That's at least another brain damage I can be giving myself.
That is true.
Speaking of brain damage.
Our next card is Enforcer 1.0. It's 1 to res, but you also have to forfeit an agenda if you want to res this bad boy. He's 5 strength, he's a Sentry Bioroid Destroyer AP. It's quite a mouthful. And because he's a Bioroid, the runner can spend a click to break any subroutine on Enforcer 1.0. So this bouncer-looking fellow, his subroutines read, trash 1 program, do 1 brain damage, trash 1 console, and trash all virtual resources. I've actually played a little bit with Enforcer 1.0, and he does his job as a bouncer very well, and once he's rezzed on a server, the runner does not want to run through him, which is quite good. Even though I think the virtual resources one is very situational, and a lot of the times runners will probably let that fire, but no one wants to trash their console really. That especially console is probably one of the first things a runner installs in their rig. They don't really want to lose that. Brain damage, negligible, you could probably let that one fire from time to time. Trashing 1 program, again, you probably don't really want to let that fire. Annoyingly, you can click through him. I kind of wish you couldn't to make him even more hardcore, but
that'd be ridiculous.
It would be ridiculous if you couldn't. But no, like I say, it's I got him rezzed with an accelerated beta test in one of the games I played, and yeah, he shut down all access to R&D for the rest of the game. The runner just didn't want to run through him, either using their breakers or clicking. So yeah.
I mean, I know it's not out yet, and this is future spoilers, but man, Apex is fucked if he comes up against this.
No, I completely agree. Apex is fucked if that virtual resources one go triggers. But yeah, I like it. It's taxing. You do kind of have to run domestic sleepers, the 2-0 agenda to feed it. In the same way, you kind of have to run hostile takeover in Wayland to feed Archer, but
yeah.
There was one point...
Well, I mean, it's in the same thing as accelerated beta test, is it not?
Well, you can res it for the without the cost.
Yeah.
Yeah, this Prirec as well will also res it without spending the agenda as well. So there are a few ways you can get it out on HB, like with accelerated beta test, like I did. And again, it doesn't. You kind of want it to be a surprise, but it doesn't really matter if he's not a surprise, because then it's, you know, a 4 subroutine, 5 strength sentry the runner has to deal with if they want to come through the server. And again, I was at one point in a match sitting on I think I scored domestic sleepers and I think 2 credits, and the runner was kind of looking across and thinking, well, why would you be running domestic sleepers if you don't have Archer in the deck? But you don't have enough credits to res Archer. And then, like, I'll jack out anyway. I was like, damn it! Oh, if only you face-checked it. So yeah,
it's that kind of trickery. I like it very much.
Yeah, I feel it's going to be really good when the runner face-checks it, and if you manage to res it. Otherwise, it's a pain to get through, so it's still pretty
also,
good.
Put it in front of an Eli. You're pretty much solved then.
Yeah, if you get it in or even behind an Eli, so if the runner spent a lot of clicks already, then they don't.
It's more for that end the run thing.
Yeah. So yeah, because obviously this doesn't end the run itself.
Yeah, but I also like the subroutine of the trashing a console, because that'll really mess with some people.
Yeah, I mean, we've only seen so far trashing hardware, nothing that ever labeled console, have we? So yeah, that's a big subroutine. I think that's maybe been overlooked by a few people so far, but yeah, I think that's a really big deal, because so many every runner depends on a console. There's very few runner decks that don't run a console and don't depend on it, either for their MU or for the effect that it has.
Yeah, I think it would be an interesting kind of. I think mixing it with an accelerated beta test, accelerated diagnostics kind of thing, where you're just installing things without the additional cost or without any costs.
Yeah,
it's good. It's a good card. I like it.
Yeah, and the artwork's awesome as well.
Should we move on?
Yep.
Cool. The next card, it's out of Jinteki, my wonderful tree brethren, and I'm sure I've put a pun on this. Like, I know I've done this card before. It's weird deja vu, but it's it's a trap. It's 3 influence, 2 cost, 0 strength, and it's called It's a Trap. Whenever It's a Trap is exposed, do 2 net damage, and the only subroutine is the runner trashes one of his or her installed cards. Trash It's a Trap. And there's little flavor text areas. I warned you.
And I like the image is like a crazy anglerfish style Admiral Akbar type character.
Yep, love it.
It's awesome.
Absolutely love it. So first of all, thank you for stealing my idea, Fantasy Flight. I'll take my royalties in the post. Secondly, it's like a grown-up data mine. It's nice. It's a nice card. I like this card. It's going into my Jinteki Julienne, and I'm removing the 2 data mines, putting in 2 It's a Traps, because it's a trap, and it means I can scream, It's a Trap!
I like as well, this carries on the Jinteki tradition of having things with exclamation points after them, like snare and shock, and It's a Trap! And you really have to exclaim it very well.
So I think I need to start screaming all my Jinteki cards. Shikyu! Mushin Noshin!
I didn't tell off, but I was like, I was playing against someone who's relatively new, and they played Surge, and like on my turn, I was like, oh, by the way, you didn't scream Surge when you played Surge, and they just looked at me like, what? I was meant to scream Surge? I'm like, oh, don't worry about it, it's cool.
He's like, no, but it's the done thing.
I know, but they're new, they're not,
Yeah, I know. You've got to teach them somehow. I've been teaching my lot that. Like,
Lesson 1.
I'm going to play a Surge. Like, no, you're going to play a Surge!
The one thing that was interesting with It's a Trap is the exposed text for it. So, because right now we're not seeing a lot of people play it exposed, despite the fact that I keep saying it's a good ability and you should, it's a good thing to do. Snitching, you don't really want to snitch into this. That's the only major thing I can think of right now. So yeah, I feel the net damage probably won't fire too much, but the trashing an installed card will definitely do its work.
I consider that more valuable than 2 net damage.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think the net damage is nice, but trashing an installed card is big. Especially, think about the times when runners have face checked something bad early on, and like a Cortex lock, and they've done a ton of net damage to them. Like face checking this at any point is going to be bad unless you have an AI breaker out.
Yeah, exactly. Which, Faust is around, but not a lot of people are running them currently.
Yeah.
Or so I found anyway.
Yeah. Or you can, if they run this before they have their Faust out, and then you trash something else that's installed. Even a console, perhaps.
Yes. Oh, God. Right, next card.
Cool, next card is... This is an offer you can't refuse.
I was hoping you'd do that. That was actually pretty good. I'm almost disappointed in how good that was.
No, I didn't fuck it up.
No.
I channeled my inner Don Corleone. Anyway, an offer you can't refuse is a 4-cost Jinteki operation. The text reads, choose a central server. The runner may initiate a run on that server during which he or she cannot jack out. Otherwise, add an offer you can't refuse to your score area as an agenda worth 1 point. Which is hella interesting. Yeah, just... Suddenly, 6-point Jinteki, you play this, the runner has to run, otherwise you win the game, is immediately what your brain goes to.
Yep.
Another thing your brain goes to is probably you choose a central server, perhaps one that has Kitsune on it, and they hit Kitsune, and then you show them a nasty card in HQ, and that does nasty things to them. Yeah,
Notion out Cerebral Overwriter or a June Bug.
Has to be a central server, otherwise that would... That would be... I think that would just break people if you could do that on a Mushin.
It would break the game.
Yeah. But no, I think if your hand is just loaded with ambush, deadliness, then yeah. Or, imagine in something like...
Psychic Field!
Well, no, Psychic Field has to be installed, doesn't it?
Does it? Oh, bollocks.
I thought so.
It's really right.
Yeah.
Just cut all this bit out. Sorry, I'm just shouting cards now.
Just, Jinteki cards! What I was thinking as well is, if you're Industrial Genomics and you have, or any Jinteki, and you have a bin full of shocks and Shi-Qs, and you name your archives, and it's like, alright, do you want to hit 3 shocks and... these 2 Shi-Qs, which could again be potential minus agenda points, or just tons of net damage, and just this I feel is probably going to be, you're probably not going to play it until it's either going to kill the runner or win you the game. I think it's probably going to be one of those type of cards. I don't necessarily think you'll see many Jinteki players play it too, but then again, I guess if you play it earlier in the game, say when you're on, I don't know, 2 or 3 points, and the runner's like, and the runner's rig isn't complete yet, then maybe they'll decline and you'll get the 1 free agenda point.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's a good one. It's nice. It's more mind games. More mind games for the mind game farm.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh, I'm doing the next one.
Yes.
I'm very happy. We're on to MBN. It's my favourite. It's always been my favourite. I love them so much, my lovely yellow cards. But this is a new identity division. It is Harpsichord Studios Entertainment Unleashed. It's 45-15. The runner cannot steal more than 1 agenda each turn. I like this card.
I do a lot.
It's nice. It's a nice... I'm gonna betray my roots and build a fast advance with it. Because I want to throw down like 2 NAPD contracts and an Astro script in my first go and say, come on then, run.
No, I like this. I like that it's a new flavour for MBN, and it... Well, obviously your mind went straight to fast advance there, but you could do... the one thing that does...
You could do interesting things, yeah.
The one thing that annoys me a little bit at the moment is everyone's gone, ooh, let's just move all the Butcher Shop cards into this deck, and I've played against the Butcher Shop variant of this, and it is devastating, and I can see why people want to do it and why it's a really good premise, because you don't want to run until you're a little bit set up because of all the bad things that cards like Data Raven, and then, if they C-source you and stuff like that, it's bad. But equally, you can't wait around, because I was in a position where the court player had 2 scored Astro scripts, and it's like, they can win in 2 turns. It's gonna take me at least 4 turns to win. Like, they were already at 4 points, and I considered it game at that point, which is just bonkers to think that, if you get an agenda lead in Harpsichord, you may have won the game.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's a lovely identity. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm not saying it's going to replace Near Earth Hub, but I think NEH has had a lot of good decks built out of it recently, and Harpsichord is probably going to be coming along and taking things in a different direction, especially with some of the agendas that are coming out.
Yeah, and which, well, I mean, we'll get to the ones that really combo well with it from this pack in a second. But I was
The Syntheth.
No, actually, let's do them right now. Actually,
Yeah.
Cool. So our first agenda is Award Bait. It's a 3/1, and it is our brand new subtype. It is a Sensi, and the text is: if Award Bait is accessed from R&D, the runner must reveal it. When the runner accesses Award Bait, you may place up to 2 advancement tokens on a card that can be advanced. Yeah, this is good.
Fast advance!
Yeah. The only downside to this is obviously you need to already have your cards that you want to advance in play, unless you're Trick of Lighting off other stuff. But still, it's good. And again, this is, best case scenario, but you kind of, your mind goes, ooh, they can hit a Kitsune, I'll show them Award Bait, and then I could advance the thing that's behind the Kitsune, which they then can't steal because they've just taken Award Bait, and yeah, it's fun.
It's good.
Yeah.
I like it. I don't have much more to say about that. Explodapalooza is the next agenda that's been released. 4/2, another Sensi. If Explodapalooza is accessed from R&D, the runner must reveal it. When the runner accesses Explodapalooza, you may gain 5 credits.
Now, that is good.
Mm-hmm.
I like MBN is becoming more about credit manipulation as well as a corporation. So, I mean, they've always had stuff like closed accounts and stuff like that. And then they've got Little Engine, which gives the runner money. Now they've got Explodapalooza, which gives them the 5 credits as well. It's just...
Yep.
Yeah, it's a super interesting card. And
in fact, there's so much in this thing that is built towards fast advance, especially the next card.
Yeah. And as well with Explodapalooza, I mean, you can see this, why Butcher Shop immediately wants this. It's, okay, you take this. You've just given me 5 credits to increase my Sea-Source trace, or you've given me those 5 credits.
Mid-seasons, yeah.
Yeah, 5 credits on mid-seasons, or 5 credits to play in my Scorched Earths that I have in hand. It's just... Yeah, I mean, I like this. I always dislike having NAPD contract in as an agenda sometimes in my decks, because I hate scoring it. Unless you kind of... always, to me, it's an agenda you want to feed the runner, to slow them down financially. Whereas something like this, it's, alright, fair enough, you got 2 points, but I just got 5 credits, and now that swing can enable me to do something else on my turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Scorch
like
the crap out of you.
Out of you, yeah. Which obviously thematically fits with an Explodapalooza.
Oh dear. Right, next one.
Next one is early...
Powering through.
Early Premiere. It is still on the yellow side of things. It's an asset for NBN. It's 0 to res and 2 to trash. It reads, when your turn begins, you may pay 1 credit. If you do, place 1 advancement token on a card that can be advanced in a server. So it can't be anything protecting a server, so no ice, but it can be agendas. Which is just, the dream situation is, so my turn begins, I flip 3 of these, score out an Astro, and then advance the other Astro I have out and use the Astro token from the first one, and now I'm on 4 points. And
yep.
Yeah. And
with an Astro.
And with an Astro counter banked as well. I heard a lot of kind of chatter around this of, this is, it has to sit in a server on its own. Near Earth Hub is obviously better because you can, that's the one that wants to be playing lots of servers. But when I was playing against Harpsichord, I was very hesitant to run at any of their servers. 1, because it would turn on Sea-Source, and 2, because I was afraid of the Sensi agendas. And I was like, I don't want to hit something that's going to, help that, because both Sensi agendas help the Corp. Whereas NAPD just punishes the runner unless you don't have the credits, in which case it just stays there. Whereas, so it's not too far-fetched to think that the Corp could have a few early premieres out as Harpsichord, and then just,
Well, the thing is, they're not unique.
Yeah.
They're 0 to res, so at the end of the runner's go, res 3 of them, and then, hey, there you go, scored something, done.
Yeah.
And I've still got 3 clicks.
Yeah, it's crazy, and I think, I think as long as Butcher Shop is popular and probably the prevailing type out of Harpsichord, I think early Premier could really work in that deck and could work really well, because you have the card, you could put reliably 2 cards on the table. The runner probably doesn't want to really check them in case of Sea-Source triggering, especially if you hit an Explodapalooza and give the Corp 5. Then then next turn, they res a few early premieres, then they can score out the other agenda, and then as the runner, you then have to go and trash 1, 2, 3 premieres to turn them off, which is going to take potentially most of your turn and 6 credits. And then that also turns on Seesaws because you've just spent 6 credits and done some successful runs trashing them. And I think it's got a lot of potential out of Harpsichord that people may be overlooking.
Right. Next card I really like because it's butcher shoppy. It's Casting Call. It's an operation condition. 0 credits. 2 influence. Install an agenda from HQ. Face up. Install Casting Call on that agenda as a hosted condition with the text. Whenever the runner accesses this agenda, he or she takes 2 tags.
I like this.
Oh, it's good.
It's kind of an oversight AI for an agenda in a way.
Yep, pretty much. And it works well not just with a lot of the NBN ones such as Explodapalooza or Award Bait, because then they have to make the choice about if they do access it, they're going to be giving you more stuff and then taking some issues.
Yeah.
TGBT also just gives them more tags.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, 3 tags from a TGT. Too good to be true with Casting Call on it.
Yes. NAPD contract becomes awful.
Lose 4, gain 2 tags, then have to spend 4 more credits and 2 more clicks to clear the tags.
Yeah.
That's an 8 credit swing. Oh my god.
But it also works well out of Wayland with stuff like the renovations.
Yeah.
Because they're already face up. So, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You're going to run at Wayland and guarantee taking yourself tags.
Yeah.
So they can triple scorch you on the next turn. Or, as you access, you res your dedicated response teams.
Oh, that's nasty. I hadn't thought about that.
Yep. Because they trigger after you leave the server.
Yeah. You're leaving that server guaranteed with 2 tags.
Yep. So that's going to put anything off, really.
Yeah. And on the bright side, it goes away once the agenda's scored. Or stolen, I guess. So, if you're but then again, that could be the agenda the Corp needs.
Exactly.
It's a good card. I like it. And also, it's got Chaos Theory on, and you go see dinosaurs.
Yay!
And I love the idea that there's some TV show that has been like, okay, so we need. We've heard about this kind of hacker kid called Chaos Theory. Let's make a TV show about her. And
she's the one who caused local blackouts. I'm telling you, my story fits.
So all these other little kids come in with it, and the parents have like shaved off half their hair to make them right for the role. And it's like, no, you will be an actress. I'm living vicariously through you. And they're taking their little teddy bear, and Chaos Theory's just like posers,
amateurs.
Yeah, amateurs. And any card that has Dinosaurus on is cool.
Next one.
Next one is Old Hollywood Grid. It's 5 to res. It's 4 to trash. It's a region upgrade. Agendas accessed from the server cannot be stolen unless the runner already has a copy of that agenda in his or her score area. This applies even during the run on which the runner trashes Old Hollywood Grid. Limit 1 region per server. So this is
awful.
It's
such a terrible card for the runner.
It's just like immediately I just think, okay, I'll just put this, and then I'll keep changing between this and red herrings in the server, and just punish the runner somehow. And yeah. Or
you could imagine if you had it on your R&D, your HQ, and a remote.
Oh yes. Oh my god.
I mean, noise would have fun, but good god, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, and
it's expensive, but worth it, I think, in the long run.
I guess as well. Like, I immediately think put this behind an Excalibur as well, so they can't make another run that turn.
Yeah.
So then they have to go in. They have to spend the 4 to trash it, unless they just want to leave it there for next time that they can't get in. And then you can basically start reliably scoring out until you come up with a duplicate that the runner has. But if you can keep blocking the runner from scoring any copy of the agenda, then they're screwed.
As a thought, are there enough agendas out of NBN to have one of each agenda in there?
I think...
Because then they can't nick it at all.
I think there are 11 different agendas out of NBN right now. And they have a 5-3 in faction. And you can use neutrals as well, I guess. Yeah,
I think that if you just have random agendas in there, that'd be interesting.
It would. And especially because I've seen Harpsichord builds that are basically just lots of 1-point agendas to just string the game along into 7 turns.
Yep. Right then, I'm going to talk about your card next.
That's cool.
It's Wayland. It's 5-3. It's a public agenda. It's Hollywood Renovation. Install Hollywood Renovation face up. Whenever you advance Hollywood Renovation, you may place one advancement token on another card that could be advanced, or two advancement tokens instead if there are 6 or more advancement tokens on Hollywood Renovation.
I love this card. So good. It is, like I said at the top of the show, it is the card my Blue Sun deck has been waiting for. It is brilliant. It pays for the space ice that's in the deck. In multiple games now, have got to a point where this has got me an Orion for free because of the advancements on it. And yeah, in the same way that when you advance Oaktown Renovation, you can have the money, it gets you the money to res the ice that's protecting it. This, it can lower the cost of the space ice to nothing that protects it. And you're basically, it's just so good. You are basically ensuring its own protection as long as you have the right kind of ice around it. And yeah, it's so, or even just, I was so annoyed because I was one turn away, because I got this to 6 on Tuesday night, 6 advancements, and I had an Oaktown in hand. I was like, you know what, next turn I can install Oaktown, double advance Hollywood, and then score out 5 points over the 2 agendas and win the game. But unfortunately, I got leg worked. It was a little bit embarrassing.
I'm sorry.
And they won the game from that legwork. But the potential to just, if this is in a super protected server, and it's probably, if you use a deck anywhere similar to mine, could be behind 3 pieces of space ice, which you can res for free because you've super advanced Hollywood Renovation, is the minute you draw into a card, you can just install, assuming it's anything 4 advancement or less, you can just install it in a new naked server and just, double advance Hollywood, you've scored that out straight away, and just no messing.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's going to bring about a fast advance Wayland, which sounds bizarre.
Yeah.
But I mean, you want something ridiculously janky. You put this in with Biotic Labour and Mushin Notion. So you Mushin Hollywood, you ice, you install another agenda in an open server. Next turn you Biotic, advance Hollywood 4 times and score both agendas.
Yeah.
So you can maybe 2-turn Wayland win.
Yeah, or even just this with Project Atlas, because you can overscore that super easily.
Oh yeah.
And then you have your Atlas counter to go and fetch the next thing you can fast advance out. Yeah, just so good.
God.
Love this card. It's brilliant.
Yep. A card I love, which is next. It's a Wayland card.
It is.
1 influence, 0. It's an operation, it's a transaction, it's back channels. Trash a card installed in a server and gain 3 credits for each advancement token on that card. This is replacing Grundle Refinery in my Julienne Jinteki deck.
Yeah.
Because I can have 3 of them, and it means that anything I'm mooshing out that the runner hasn't gone for, like traps, I can go, you know what? I'm just turning this into money now.
Or you mooshing out something that's definitely a trap. If the runner doesn't check it, next turn, maybe
that's what I mean.
Maybe advance it 3 more times.
Oh yeah.
And then they're like, oh shit, either that's a 6 advance something, like in gender, or you're gonna get 18 credits from it the next turn. So then
it's good
there's
card.
this odd
I like it.
feeling from the runner of, shit, well, I have to check, I have to access that to stop them getting 18 credits.
Oh man, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
I think this is brilliant, and I heard of kind of a bit of chatter about, oh, this sucks in Wayland. It's like, don't play it in Wayland. This is a Jinteki card through and through. Maybe
absolutely.
HP, but yeah, this just belongs in an ambush heavy deck. And yeah, so what, they didn't run that Mushin card that was the trap. Now I'm going to make some money from it. So good, so good.
Cha-ching.
But it is a transaction as well, so it would work in core Wayland. You would get a credit for playing it.
Oh god. That would be I don't know. It's ridiculous.
No, I really like this in Jinteki. I think this is like, just remember how much Mushin Notion revolutionized Jinteki. Like, this card is just gonna do it again. Like, now Jinteki has super quick way to get money from nothing to, anywhere between 9 and whatever, however many advances. You could keep advancing that June bug and keep advancing it and keep advancing it until you cash it out for God knows how many credits, and then you can do whatever nasty things you want.
So your turn. I advanced 3 times. Oh, I advanced 3 times. I advanced 3 times.
Yeah, and then you use all the money you got from
Back
your
channels.
use all the money you got from your first back channels to fund your advancements of the next ones.
Yeah.
And as well, this is really cool because it could throw runners off into thinking you're just advancing traps.
Yeah.
And then boom, you've advanced the agenda, like slowly, and you scored it out. And it's like, no, I wasn't making money this time. I was actually scoring a big agenda out. Yeah.
Oh dear me.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Right, last card.
Last card is Vanity Project. It is a 6 advance, 4-point agenda. And this is a big deal because it's our first agenda that costs influence. Finally, those blank 5 pips on the bottom of those agenda cards mean something because this one costs 1 influence. Slight downside is that it's just got flavor text, so it doesn't actually have an ability, but it is 4 points. So now if someone's at 3 points, they're also at match point if they are running Vanity Project.
Yep. Low agenda density, high profit.
Yeah.
And also, you get to see what Miranda Rhapsody looks like in Dorothy costume,
yeah.
which is weird. Next to a hunky lion.
That lion is pretty ripped.
I'm scared by how hunky the lion is. It's unnecessary. It's like sparkly vampires. We didn't really need this remake, but it is a vanity project after all. This would actually work really well in the old Hollywood, the Hollywood Renovations jank that I just described. If this is the second agenda, yeah, boof done.
Yeah, if you could protect this for a turn, and then triple advance it from triple advance Hollywood that's over advanced. That gives you the 6 advancements on Vanity Project.
Yeah, and then you can just score both at the same time.
Score both game. Yeah, it's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, I know what I'm building.
Yeah. Vanity Project is cool. And I think, we might have started off a little bit negative with this pack. My god, it got so much better the more we started reading. The more we went through.
The more we got onto corp cards.
Yeah, it feels like once we hit Fansite, once we hit Film Critic, that was the turning point for our list.
I think, like we say, there are no bad cards.
Yeah.
There are just cards that have yet to find their partner, I think.
Yeah, that's a really good way of putting it, actually.
But I think the next pack, where we're going to the universe of tomorrow.
So glad you said it like that.
I know. There's some good cards in that.
Yeah.
And they've all been spoiled now, so I don't really care but Surfer. I like Surfer.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that next time.
We will, yes. Oh my god, yeah, so many fun Anarch, and it's going to be cool. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be good.
Oh, cool. Well, just before we wrap up, something I forgot to mention earlier about the tournament. So obviously I said that I came 5th, just missed out on a space in the top 4, and getting a lovely deck box, and if I'd placed a little bit higher, I'd have got my first ever tournament map. But never mind, because I came 5th, and I'm proud of that, because I did really well, especially after my double loss really early on. But what is the highlight for me of the day was actually the player who came in first place, Johnny, who I mentioned a few weeks ago, who's using a very slightly modified version of my Cloud Heist Geist deck, won the tournament with said Cloud Heist Geist deck as his runner deck.
Nice.
The only modifications he made, I think it was 2 grappling hooks he removed, and he put in 1 inside job and 1 crescentus. And other than that, the deck was untouched from the version 1.1 that you can find on Netrunner DB. And I'm really proud of that. That's so... I mean, obviously I can't take all the credit because some of it comes down to the skill of the player, but to think a deck that I designed at the time was just like...
You don't know what you're doing. Take all the credit.
The credit. I'm too humble. Too humble.
Shut up. Take the credit.
Okay, I'm awesome.
You won.
The real...
In that way, you came 5th and first.
I did, yeah. So really, I should have got 2 lots of prizes.
Well, congratulations to Johnny, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. It's like odd, but it's like it made me think like, why wasn't I running that deck if it's so good? But no, really, really proud to have seen kind of my deck do so well. Really cool feeling.
Mark, do the end of the show things that. Oh, it's late. You just do the thing. I'm gonna have a lie down. I peaked really earlier with film credit.
So, yeah, you're on a bit of a downer now.
Oh god.
Maybe you should go see your drug dealer and get some stims.
Shut up.
Oh, no, you'd have to go to your stim dealer to get stims. Drug dealer would probably just be drugs.
Stop being a narc.
Okay. So, If you want to check out our website, it's canlaugh.com/nerdrunners. On there you can find all of the episodes thus far, and also a snazzy contact form if you want to send some feedback. Speaking of feedback, you can also email us at nerdrunnerspodcast@gmail.com. We love hearing from you, whether it's just to say that you enjoy the show, or that you've got a cool janky deck, or you just think a card's underappreciated and you think you found really good use for it. We love to hear from you all. On Twitter, I am at Marcus Friend, and Stef is at House of Moose. And you'll find all the decks that we talk about, and we'll try and keep them up to date and published as frequently as we can on Netrunner DB.
I'm really bad at that. I'm sorry. I've been trying to publish as we speak.
Yeah. I know I've been quite lax about it recently as well. I'm still need to put Norwich Silhouette up. I'll do that soon. But you can find us and our decks on Netrunner DB. I'm Marcus Friend on there, and Stef is Ryn, which is RYNN. We'll also post the episode on Reddit, and you can also kind of comment on there as well. Obviously, yeah, we do love hearing from you guys. Yeah, feel free to rate and review us. I'm not going to put as big a emphasis on it this week, because I feel that if you want to do it, you can do it. I shouldn't have to pressure you into doing it. There's no peer pressure in this podcast.
Do it. Ignore what you do it. You do it, or I'll send the boys round.
Steph will send around the dedicated response team if you don't give us a 5-star review and say how lovely we are.
That is Wayland all over, really, isn't it? No, we don't mind. Just tell a friend. Yeah. If you like it, tell someone.
Yeah, just cool. Keep listening. We're just happy that people are listening and enjoying the podcast, to be honest. We don't need no 5-star review.
But it'd be cool.
Cool. I think that's everything for this week. So, yeah, thank you all for listening once again. We hope you enjoyed the show.
Bye.
Bye. There's a few ways that you can get it up without forfeiting the agenda.
That's what I say to my wife every night. But
yeah,
we'll cut that. It's cool. Yeah. Sorry. I've had coffee. I don't know what's wrong with me.